might get a message that pops up to say, are you happy for this recording? So we can use this for future reference. So for those of you that don't know, we're Bleyer, and a little bit about us. So Caroline established Bleyer back in May 2009, all by herself. And we've got our website that is the forefront of our business, that is available to everybody online 24/7. 365, hopefully, short of the odd technical issue. But we're there day and night, so many of you will be well aware you can take advantage of price any time of day or night. You can place your orders, the price is locked in at the time of order. So do take advantage if you're up in the wee hours. It's always there for you. And we're here to support you as well. As a lot of you will know, Caroline's very dedicated in education and support, and I'm passionate about our customer service. So we're all here to support everybody that wants to come through and make the best decisions that they possibly can when it comes to buying and selling bullion, which sort of ultimately feeds back into what we exist for. So we exist to demystify and make bullion investment more accessible for everybody out there. So supporting our customer service and to show how we've come through in those years, we have achieved the Platinum Trusted Service Award with FIFO for the past 4 years. So the recent award has just come out for this year. So that's been 4 times continuously. So, and that's having a customer rating that doesn't fall between 4 and 4.9 out of 5% on those reviews. So if anybody hasn't seen those already, please do go on and have a look. And if you do get a request, we do appreciate every single one of those that comes through, because it does help new people to see from real customers good, honest reviews about who we are. Just a little disclaimer, the boring bit before we get into the exciting news from Caroline. So please note, precious metal prices may go down as well as up. Bleyer Limited, trading as Bleyer Bullion, accepts no responsibility for any losses based on information we have provided. We do not offer investment advice, but we share our experience and knowledge for the purpose of raising awareness. It's up to you to do your own research and, if necessary, obtain professional advice before making an investment decision. So with me doing the boring bit, and that's all out the way, I shall hand you over to Caroline, who will take you through the rest of the presentation.
Okay, so as we go through, feel free to ask any questions. This might take half an hour, it might take an hour and a half. It's up to you guys. It depends how much support you need, how much you already know. The idea of the session this evening is to run through what capital gains tax is for anyone who's not clear about it, how it's applied, and tell you what all the things that you need to know about managing your assets, not just precious metals, but across your investment portfolio, and maybe just some questions to ask and check through with your accountant or financial advisor. So we'll start with this slide. What is capital gains tax? It's a tax that applies to assets when you sell them. So you don't pay any tax until you actually sell your asset and you crystallize a gain or a loss. So it applies to stock, shares, most things really, but there are some exceptions which I'll go through. Not the house that you live in, but if you have an investment property, and there are certain vehicles that have been designed to be tax efficient and incentivize people to save in a particular way. So it was first introduced in 1965, and it was brought. The reason that it was brought in, I'll just pull up a note that I had earlier, which I've now lost. That's not really useful, it's in the wrong place. That's it. It was introduced by the Chancellor of the time, James Callaghan, Labour Party. Prior to this, capital gains weren't taxed. Shannon observed that one of the primary drivers to the introduction of capital gains tax in the UK was a rapid growth in property values after World War II. This led to property developers deliberately leaving office blocks empty so that rental income couldn't be established and greater capital gains were made. So various rules have been existed during the period between now and then. There used to be taper relief that was abolished in 2008 in favour of a simpler system. And in March 2023, last year, the Chancellor announced a drop from 12,300 to 6,000, which is what we have right now. And it's about to change again at the coming in force in April. It will drop to 3,000. The rates depend on the assets sold and the tax band that applies to you. Future changes, we have no idea what these might look like. It could be anything from just an extension of the income tax rates to changes in the amount, the allowance, but it's all down to the parties that are in power and what's flavour of the election manifesto, really, I think. So how much do you pay? Well, if you sell one of these assets, one of these types of assets, and some others possibly, it will be based on your tax band that you fall into. If you're a basic rate taxpayer, the tax that would apply to bullion is 10%. If you're a higher rate, or I think there's only one rate so it's two rates, the basic and the higher or additional rate. So that's 20%. And I'll show you how we can talk about how that's calculated. So rates for residential property that are investments, not the house you live in, are 18% and 28%, again, dependent on your tax rate. So this is what the allowances are at the moment. So if you earn up to 12,570, you don't pay any tax. So I think that would be extended to your capital gains. So if you didn't have any income, if you didn't have any taxable income, then your personal allowance would be, I don't think you'd pay any capital gains until you hit the personal allowance. But again, I'd check that out. The basic rate tax goes up to 50,270. Sorry about my dog. After a talk, I might have to stop just a moment. Excuse me, Melissa. If you want to chip in, please feel free. I'm just giving.
That's absolutely. I just put a little side note in on the side, guys. So if anyone has any questions, as Caroline's whipping through, if there's anything that you're not sure about, please feel free to jump in and ask any questions or pop it in the chat box, and we'll answer questions as we go along. Or if you want to save them until the end, absolutely fine, and we can go over things again.
Oh, sorry about that, folks. And we have a question in the chat, or is that Melissa?
No, okay. That's me. Just pop your message in.
Oh, hang on, go back. No, that's right. I think so. Okay, so if you earn over 50,000, or your capital gain plus your earnings take you over 50,000, you would pay the higher rate. Okay. So there are some assets that are exempt from capital gains tax. So as I said before, your principal residence, gifts to UK charities, private cars, personal belongings, anything that's within an ISA, premium bonds and UK government gilts, which is a type of loan to the government that's interest bearing. Winnings from the lottery, betting, gambling, and our favourites at Bleyer, British legal tender, sovereigns, Britannias, and other commemorative coins. Okay, so how can you manage your taxable gains? So what we suggest is that you have a rethink your exit strategy. If anyone's ever been on any of my sessions before, you will have heard me talking about exit strategy a lot, because I always feel like it's one of those things that you need to consider before you buy something. Why are you buying it? And that will help you to decide what format your investment is going to take. And again, if you do come through and chat to us, we can always help you with understanding that a bit deeper. But we can answer questions at the end as well. So what were your reasons? Are they still valid? Have they changed? Has your situation changed? Make a list of everything that you have that are potentially liable. I like to use a spreadsheet. So that will help you to sort of set everything out and calculate a rough valuation. Now, if you want to get values for precious metals, there are quite a few places you can have a look on our website for the spot prices are on our homepage, or you can have a look at the LBMX. I'm sorry, I just need a sup of tea. Have a look at the LBMA website to see details of historical valuations as well. Put in what you paid, put in the current value, and then you can calculate the gain on each asset. Same thing applies to stocks and shares. You can have a look online, find out the share price, or ask your financial advisor for a valuation of whatever you've got, or have a look on your portal if you invest that way. Anything that's in an ISA you don't need to worry about because that's exempt anyhow. Then you might want to have a look at your asset allocation and see if it is the diversification mix that you're still happy with. Do you want to sell anything? Do you want to change anything? And then discuss it sometimes discussing it with anybody is a good idea, or just talking it through with someone, just because if you can justify it to yourself, then hopefully it will still make sense to someone else. So it's good to have a sounding board of some description. And then when you've got your plan, take some action. You've got until the end of this tax year, which is why we've decided to time this particular talk now, to give people time to do something. It's not going to be a last minute rush. So what can you do right now once you've gone through the steps that I've suggested? So larger bars, this affects gold bars probably more than silver bars because of the higher value. So you could sell larger bars if you felt it was appropriate to use up your allowance and crystallize that 6,000. If you've made a gain of 6,000, and it's across all of your assets. So it's the sum of everything that you sell in any one year. So it's not just one asset class. In the future, if you still like bars, if you buy smaller pieces, it will help you to manage your gains about, and it also gives you more liquidity. And sometimes bars still make more sense than buying coins because of because particularly for silver, it can be quite a bit more cost effective, especially if you also manage to pick up margin scheme silver, which is at reduced price as well. So the coins, consider what you have. So if you have foreign coins like Krugerrands, Maples, Eagles, they're still fine. It depends on, when you come to sell them, how much will the gain be? Are you likely to need to sell them all at once? Or is that still manageable? But if you're buying new, unless you're particularly collecting coins from other countries, we would recommend buying legal tender exempt coins over other pieces. There's no price disadvantage to doing that either.
Caroline, we have a question, just a moment.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Is capital gains tax calculated before or after selling fees?
After. So you would deduct, and if you've had something in storage as well, then you'd take off any costs that you have that apply to that asset. And if you've got any capital losses from other things that you've sold and made a loss on, you may be able to set them off against the gain as well. But it's something you might need to check that, because the tax man is a greedy bastard and doesn't doesn't like to be too generous sometimes. So it may be that the thing that you made the loss on might not be reclaimable against a different asset class. As we said at the beginning, we are not financial advisors or accountants, so it's always best to double check. You can even ring the Inland Revenue and ask them. It's a good way to get free advice sometimes. So that's what their job is. Okay, so sometimes once you've reviewed your position, the right decision is to remain as you are. But if you need some help, we're around to help you. You can call us, have a chat, and someone in the office, Melissa, myself, or Leo, can talk you through. And if we don't have the answer to your question, we will try and find out for you. But yeah, sometimes you might look at what you've got and think, actually, I'm okay for now, but I'll put a diary note in to look in again and check everything next year. So we'll help you with converting bars for coins or finding the best deals if you're adding to your portfolio. So that's where we come in. And there's some links that I've put in for you. So this one, is it sharing the screen, Melissa?
It's not, no.
Okay.
No, when we send the presentation out, the links will be embedded. So these links will take you straight through to the CGT coins, silver and gold coins.
Right.
Oh, there you go.
So
It's coming up now.
UK gold coins. On this, you can see down the side, you can, if you're not familiar with how to navigate this part of our website, you can filter to make it easier. So if you look wanting particular size, like 1 ounce coins, you just click this filter here, and it will just show you the 1 ounce coins. If you want the pre-owned ones, which will give you the best value ones. If you want to sort from high to low, low to high, I'll sort them here. So I've at the end of this presentation, I'm going to give you a code which you can use. So if anyone's interested in any of these coins, you'll be able to buy them with £5 off per coin. These have already been, these two here are already highly discounted. So they're not a lot cheaper than buying brand new. And they are, particularly these ones, they were in storage, come back to us from a customer. And so it's a really good deal on them.
So there's 3 hyperlinks at the top that will take you straight through to those sections to save searching around. So we've got the CGT UK gold coins, the UK silver coin section, and then underneath it there is a blog that's been written on the capital gains tax guide. So all those are hyperlinks that will take you straight through, so you don't have to search for them.
I hope that was helpful. Does anyone have any questions? Well, thanks everyone. I'll say good night.
Night night.
Night night.